I have to start by saying that Madelaine really she knocks it out of the park. There's so many scenes that it's just amazing watching her face and her reaction under the house among so many other scenes. What did she bring to the film for you as a director? What did you find in her performance?
I love that question. Uh, we looked long and hard, and we met a lot of actors, and it was a Zoom call that we had with her when we first met, where she just blew us away with her. Obviously, she has the acting talent, but she has the intelligence. She's super sharp. She has the wit. She's super funny, and she just has the charisma. And in addition to that, she is just physically relentless. So she almost instantly became our partner. She had a great impact on the characters, on the dialogue, on the story itself. We were always checking with each other, like, okay, are we being real? Because it's, 4.5 hours of intense horror. And it would be so easy to, you know, there's always the stunt guy who says like, hey, we could do this. Or the makeup person who is like, how about a prosthetic leg? Or cameraman is like, oh, we can make the camera spin. Uh, and just to be able to, because so easily your instinct in when making movies, let alone three, is that, bigger is better. And in action movies, when I make action movies, that is the case. Or if you're doing a supernatural horror film, it can be the case. But in this one, it was about the realism. And so we were checking back and forth always, like, are we keeping it real? Is this true to the character? And she was exceptional. She went through unbelievable physical and mental abuse for about 53 days, and shooting 3 movies, blended together, being covered in blood and torn clothes on a Monday morning, and being pristine and perfect Monday afternoon when she's driving in the car with her boyfriend. So it's back and forth, emotionally, completely from one end to the other. I don't know anybody else who could have done what she did. And I'm particularly excited to hear from you that you saw the first movie and you feel like she did an amazing job. You haven't seen anything before you see the second and third, because that's when it really starts.
Well, that's the other thing here. I mean, there's so much else I want to get to, but talk about making 3 films at once. What does that give you as a filmmaker the ability to do? Because it seems like the perfect scenario when you can do something like this.
It's exceptional. It's like many times you're jealous of people who are doing like a mini series or something like that, because they get to explore the characters so much and the story is so much deeper. And in a movie, you have hour and a half or max 2 hours to tell the whole story. So to be able to have 4.5 hours to explore the victim's side and also the perpetrator's side, and go in a real deep psychological dive into what goes on with a sociopath who can do something like this, and how does all this affect the victim of this kind of senseless psychological and physical violence. So as a filmmaker, I knew it when I saw the script. I knew this was an opportunity of a lifetime. It's never happened before, and who knows if it will happen again. Of course, if we are successful, as we know how Hollywood is, of course, if we are successful, then like no studio will ever make just one movie. Every movie will be 3 movies for sure.
I mean, it seems to be a great idea. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest. The other thing is your tone. I'm really blown away by the mood and the tone you set. Like the first silhouette shot we see of the person at the door, and there's so many moments where you've taken out the music, where it's just silence. How much of that is things that you plan for and you film, and how much of that is the edit?
You know, Great question and great observations. Thank you. The movie is really made 3 times. It's when you script the movie, you create one story. Then when you shoot it, it takes a life of its own with the actors and the environment, and then when you edit it and you do the sound and music and everything, it finds a third life. Of course, I'd like to say that everything was planned, but you definitely you discover things as you're editing, and you change the order of the scenes and the pacing of the scenes and the focus of the scenes, and I'm really glad that you noticed the lack of music in some scenes, which, like, I would say that the composer probably, for a fact, composed the music from the first frame of the movie to the last of the frame of the movie. There was music everywhere, and he did a great job. But as we were then doing the final mix and putting all the elements together, we would first build the sound, the sound of the house, living and breathing being, the house, or the forest, what kind of sounds we hear there, and so on. And then we would build that, and then we would put in the music, and sometimes we would just discover, like, actually it's much more real and relatable for the audience when there's no music, because the music, of course, music, it particularly in a horror movie, music can be very important because it leads. You can show an empty room, and if it has certain kind of a music, it's a scary room, and if it's got a different kind of a music, it's a happy room. But at the same time, sometimes the music is a license for the audience to take a vacation. They're like, oh, the music is carrying me. Okay, everything is fine. Or everything is scary, whatever. But it's like the music is carrying me. I'm watching a music video. But then when you take that out, then, like, you're forced to face the facts. There's no the comfort of the music. There's just you and the place and the person, and you just have to react to what's happening without any other parachute. So that's, and I feel like it takes a courage to leave the music out, because the music, when it works, it works. It's a easy route, and you're sure the audience will feel basically what you want them to feel, because the music is directing them. But I think it takes courage sometimes to just say, let's not do the music. Let the audience deal with the facts. And then when that works, it just makes it that much better.
Well, it's a wild ride. Thank you very much for the time. It was great chatting.
Thank you so much.